I have a rat in the house, in like the garage, not in the
No,
house. I do. Do you guys get rats in Austin?
no. I mean, yeah, of course there are rats somewhere, but not in
Right.
this neighborhood to my awareness.
But you're like out in the country, in the hills. There's mice and stuff, right?
I the only thing we have around here is cats and
Oh, that's why you don't have the
armadillos,
mice. You have
and
armadillos?
porcupines,
I don't think I've ever seen an armadillo or a porcupine in real life before.
possum. We get the possums
Well,
out here.
I get some possums, yeah.
Fox. There's a great fox. I named him Raphael. Yeah.
I don't get foxes either. Raphael the fox. It's very Disney-like.
Hi, Bree.
Bree Barton.
Ew. Good to see you. Oh, you guys have fancy podcast mic.
Oh, that's okay. You
That's
have a nice
okay.
coat.
I'm gonna go like could I use this vase or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with Matt and Michelle here today.
Honest to God, the reverb from the vase actually sounds pretty good. Do that again.
All right, how about this? You're getting a
Oh
little nice.
shit. Yeah. I feel like we're
Yeah,
talking in
it's
a
got a nice
museum.
round
Okay,
tone.
well, I'm just gonna hold it right here, and this isn't weird at all.
No. It's awkward
I
visually, but
can't.
this
I
isn't a
can't do
visual
this.
podcast.
That's right. This is audio, so it doesn't matter. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
but for my visual.
Start an
You're my first.
OnlyFans, but it's just a vase. You talking?
Exactly. People are like, I think that she's misusing the platform.
Well, this is episode 7, season 4 of the acclaimed podcast. It's acclaimed. The view counts are going up by the day. I gotta say, we got.
Awesome.
Yes, lucky number 7, guys. This one's gonna be like,
I told Bree I was gonna intro her, and she just interjected. So Bree Barton, ladies and gentlemen, you can't contain her. So not even the United States could contain her because she has moved to
No.
Canada. Formerly of Ithaca, New York, Bree Barton, author
Wow.
of several books.
Yep.
And Michelle's gonna read her
I'm
bio.
gonna
I
read
won't
her
tell you where she got
bio.
it. I won't tell
I
you where she got
no,
the
no,
bio.
it's a secret
I know.
bio
The
that
writers
only
will
I
kill you.
have. So,
Yeah.
Bree Barton is the author of several acclaimed young adult and middle grade novels, including Heart of Thorns, Tears of Frost, and her latest, Black Rose. Known for weaving together fantasy, feminism, and emotional honesty, Bree's stories often explore pain, power, and the alchemy of transformation. Beyond her fiction, she's an outspoken advocate for mental health and creative resilience, teaching writing workshops that help young people channel their struggles into art. So when she's not writing, she's probably dancing barefoot or dreaming up new worlds where courage and compassion win the day. Is that an accurate bio, Bree?
She's thinking about it.
She's thinking so hard.
that's pretty accurate. It's interesting. It's interesting. This is a reminder. It's only because this is a reminder that anything you ever do on the internet is in perpetuity forever. Because it's so fascinating to me that Black Rose was the original title of the Heart of Thorns trilogy back in
Mm.
2015.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's interesting like that, right? I mean, it shows you to the iterations. It's interesting. It's right. The book I did a page one rewrite on the first book of the trilogy in 2016, starting in, I don't know, mid-November,
Mhm.
because I realized the sort of book that I wrote was wrong, that it couldn't quite be like the lighter fluff fantasy that I had maybe originally imagined, that we were living in a darker world than I had been aware of. And
Wow.
so I did pay one rewrite. Yeah, and so sort of what evolved from that was a different theme and some sort of different approaches and then a different title to go with it.
Did it grow more cynical?
Yes. I mean, it's like suddenly it was about a tyrant who had sealed the borders and only liked people to look a certain way or
Where
looked.
did you get such an idea from?
I
Where
just
do
really
you
had
get your
to,
ideas?
I just had a lot of nightmares. I just had a lot of nightmares that I felt like, God, it's almost like I can't wake up from them.
Yeah.
And so then I put that into my fiction, scare quotes.
Right. But you know what? That's the way to layer in political ideologies. You don't want to get too
Yeah.
on the nose with it. Just put
Hmm.
it in a different like realm of
Yeah,
fantasy.
I mean, it made it become more honest, I think, because it's like, Mia Rose is the main character, hence the rose and the thorns.
Hmm.
And it sort of was like it became a story about a white girl sort of like dealing with her own ignorance in a way, and her own
Hmm.
privilege, and sort of being in a world that was very different than what she had thought. which is great. It ended up being, I mean, I feel like it's like the best thing that happens when you're a writer is when you can like hit a vein, right? And channel something that felt true to me. And I think it made the book truer, you know?
Absolutely.
Let me backtrack for a second. I discovered you. I didn't discover you, but I first met you. She was just a farm girl in Ithaca.
Can I say, in my defense, I did live in Los Angeles for 10 years. You're making me sound like a backwoods hick.
I know. Well, that's what this podcast is all about. I'm sorry. No, she was a finalist in our Script Pipeline TV writing competition with a wonderful little pilot that ultimately we couldn't do anything with because everyone passed on it. But she has since then.
Thank you.
But you're a good example though of someone like Michelle, for that matter, who went from screenplays or pilots to books, which I think more and more people are doing. I feel like we've had every podcast we say the same thing, but it's true. And what is you went from a genre in screenwriting that's very different from what you're writing in books, especially now with your newer book, right? Why is my question.
Right. Great question. I feel like, right, Paradise, Texas, my TV pilot was very much grounded in realism. What I like about it, right, and the fantasy trilogy is obviously fantasy, and then the fourth book, Zia Erases the World, is contemporary but with a magical twist, right? There's a magical dictionary, it erases things from the world.
Middle grade too, right?
The truth is, what?
Middle grade,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a children's book. And I think, the truth is probably about my ADHD more than anything. I just get bored so easily. Like if I'm reading a book and it has sort of no magical element or something, like the twist or something that elevates it, I get kind of bored. And so I think, and in some ways, I feel like this is a cheesy answer, but like we're living in such a weird post-realism time in some ways that I think sometimes like the books I read that have that magical element or, something genre, they're like more honest than straight up contemporary.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because it feels like the world is breaking in some ways. And I think like using a metaphor of fantasy for what the trilogy became was like a very modern experience of these young characters, right, going through their growth journeys, but like with swords and gowns. And it became like, by the third book, it's all about self-healing. They're in like therapy, they're doing yoga, but it's always like, I've changed the letters of the word for it's a slight fantasy twist. Like it's not yoga, it's like juga.
Right.
Totally different.
Cool.
Totally different. No one would recognize it at all. You pull out mats, you do postures, nobody would ever know. That's how I just slip it in there. But anyway, I think so. It's like for me, I think that's the interesting juncture for me of like, what can we pull in that feels real and grounded? But what makes it different, right? What gives it some sort of a twist or I'm going to use a theater nerd word, like looking through the scrim. So it's like things are different, right? There's a sort of different, the shape is the same, but there's a different medium through which we see it.
What's the scrim?
Well, you could ask ChatGPT, Matt, but I'll tell you.
I refuse. I only use it to track my protein and calories for the day.
It's like I shouldn't show this one. It's like a screen that you like hold up in front of you could get a light. So you get like the light behind her. If there was someone behind me, you would see their shape, but it's it's not, you're not seeing them exactly as they are, but you're getting the shape of the truth.
It's like an impression essentially in a way, right?
You know what? When you do your OnlyFans base thing, put a scrim up so it's all like shadows. And...
That would be really cool.
Yes.
We're really establishing a brand for me here, guys. I really appreciate that.
Well, writing is you have to evolve as a writer, which you've been doing. So you can start writing your own vase skits. No, I understand exactly what you're saying, and she's putting the scrim over the vase, you guys. I understand exactly what you're saying. I actually personally have the same mentality of like I can't write a basic genre story. That's kind of dull.
Like you're the best view genre. You understand it.
Yeah. I need like a talking mouse or something. But so that hurdle though of going from like the film and TV direction and then going into the publishing world, was that an easier process as far as getting representation? And I know you have like the sordid tales of representation and publishing and stuff, but give us kind of the brief overview of that like transition.
Yeah, and I think in some ways, I mean, in some ways, I was like posturing more as a TV screenwriter because I've been writing stories since I was a kid, right? I think fiction was always sort of my first love, and then I like have been dipping a toe in for screenwriting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think in some ways, so it was a more comfortable genre for me. I always also joke too. It's like as rough as publishing is, I'm always like the one industry that's worse is Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I I think after years of writing. I could put together a good query letter. I've helped other clients of mine, editing clients or sometimes ghostwriting, put together query letters and samples and stuff. So I felt versed in that by the time I did it in my mid 20s, late 20s. Yeah, so I was able. I actually in my first round of queries, I did get representation with WME, which was like one of my dream places to have a literary
Right.
agent. So I feel like I secured that really quickly. Now, what I always tell people is like it always takes longer than you think, and it'll be different parts of the process, right? So for me, it was like I signed pretty quickly. Gosh, that was 2012. We sold
Uh-huh.
originally Black Rose in 2015, and the first book of the Heart of Thorns trilogy came out 2018. So that was a 6-year journey, right?
Yeah.
Which was
Yeah.
longer than I thought. Now I have a wonderful mentee who's also a beautiful writer. And it took him a couple years to find an agent, to work with an agent on the book, right? Like that was the part of the process. And then it sold like at auction the first week, you know. So there's
Wow.
always different parts of it that are long,
Sure.
yeah. But I think in some ways that transition was easier for me just because my experience and I know how to sell myself, not like on OnlyFans, but in a
Yeah.
way of like using words to sort of convey guess what I bring to the table.
Well, not yet. We'll see how the economy turns out.
No, that's
But
that's a fair
so,
point, actually.
but when your first book came out, what kind of this is kind of a side question, but like what kind of marketing effort did they put into this debut? And how much did you have to kind of take on yourself? And like, was it sort of overwhelming?
Um, yeah, yes, no, yes, no, yes. Yes to everything. I had a good, I mean, with marketing publicity, I had a good marketing plan. This was with HarperCollins, right? And then publicity, not so much, which I'll
Yeah.
always be grateful to my editor who like pulled me aside one day and was like we were in a fishbowl room, but she like went up and she
Uh-huh.
like closed the door of the fishbowl room where everyone could see us.
Right.
But that's when she was sort of like, I'll be honest with you. Your marketing plan is better than I see for a lot of my authors, but publicity, it's not much. So I
Yeah.
appreciated that honesty. And it's like, what do we do? They did targeted ads, I think. They pushed it out to a lot of bookstores and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
as far as like, I mean, the kind of they would have set up one event for me. I set up 14 in 8 states.
Mm.
I basically did an
By
entire,
yourself.
yeah, by myself.
Yeah.
That took
Wow.
probably 2 months. And also because I coordinated with in each city, I either connected with another author and we would do an event together, sometimes more than one. I had actors in Dallas performing a scene. I had an artist drawing at one event at Books a Million. I think that was in like Virginia. And then
Hmm.
my favorite was I had a couple of fans who had found me on Instagram, not only fans, and they were musicians, they're violinists, and
Uh-huh.
they were 16, 17, and they came into the DC event. Their mom drove them and they played a song that like they had written inspired by the trilogy.
What?
So that stuff
Oh,
was so fun for me. You talk about exhausting. And it was, but it also charged me because it was connection, right? It was dealing
Yeah,
with all these
yeah.
artists that were
absolutely.
so great. So yeah, I put that together and it was funny because I put this cool image together. I mean, truly, it took like 2 months of planning and working with bookstores. And then when I had that image of the 14 events, Harper was like, could we have that and put it on the website? I was like, sure, you can have that.
Yeah. Right.
Take this asset of things that I've put
For
together. But
$7,000.
yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. You can pay me a bigger advance. So yeah, it's stuff like that. And I, to be honest, like we're pulling in the mental health theme. I came back from that. I was very charged. That was like a month long journey. And
Hmm.
I felt really good. And I was like, yeah. And I remember I'd been home like 2 days or something. And I opened my closet, I don't just to like organize it or something. And it was the most physical manifestation of my depression I've ever had. It was like getting punched in the gut. Like I actually had to
Oh,
just fall back on the sofa. And I think that is the cost of like doing that kind of manic, right? Energy, so much energy expended and so many good connections, but I was exhausted. And I think the exhaustion does for me often like, come out in the form of
Yeah.
depression. And it was a really dark depression. And I think one, I'll never forget a woman who I didn't know that well, but she was another writer. She said to me, I don't understand. Like, you should be happy. You just had a book come out. You did this book tour. Like, why are you depressed? I was like, well, that's not really how depression works.
Right.
Exactly.
How long did that period last, and how did you kind of sort of wind your way out of it?
It's actually a good question because it affected my fourth book.
Oh.
Because I remember, at that time, this is 2018, and I wasn't talking really publicly about my depression. Zia, my book that would be about my childhood depression was many years out, although I had started working on it on and off. So I hadn't really been talking about it. And World Mental Health Day is October, sometime in October, right? And I was about a month into the depression by then. And I woke up that day, hardly. I mean, I was still in my robe. And I decided, you know what, I'm going to do like a pictorial journey of my depression. And I'm going to take pictures around the house and I'm going to build a narrative. I'm going to tell the story on World Mental Health Day of my depression and how it started when I was 11, but also like, here I am, right? Still dealing with it.
Right.
And it was healing for me to do that. It probably took several hours. And the response I got on my Instagram was like nothing I had ever received. It was like, people saying, oh my God, my daughter is going through this now. What you went through, thank you so much. And I'm going through this now. And I know what this feels like. And thank you for talking about it. And it really was kind of the first time that it crystallized for me how important it was to talk about my mental health, in a forum where people were like, thank you. This was helpful to me.
Social media helping with depression.
I know, right? Who would have thought? Right. It's like, I feel like, right, the dark side,
But
side
I get
of
it.
social is funny.
I get it that some people need to be vocal about it.
Yeah. And that put me on the path, right? I mean, it was 4 years after that Zia Erases the World did. Well, we sold in 2020, the day before everything shut down. And then it came out. Yeah, truly, I got the offer, and then everyone was like, "By the way, we're packing up tomorrow and leaving all of the offices
forever,
forever." Exactly. And it 8 months of silence went by. 8 months of silence. I was like, "It's over. I got a book deal, gone." And then the contract came in, which honestly, 8 months, it's not even that long, a normal publishing thing. So yeah, I think learning to talk about my depression is what empowered me to write a book that dealt explicitly with depression and to be braver about it.
Well, did that stage? I mean, it's the pandemic. You're waiting on a book. It's a new genre. Did that
trigger anything?
Yeah, was that triggering?
I mean, I feel like I was one of those people at the beginning of the pandemic, which I feel like you can only do this with a lot of privilege, right? But I'm an introvert, which no one ever believes, by the way. I call myself, I'm a gregarious introvert, but I kind of loved being internal for those early months. Like I didn't have to like pretend to want to do lunch with a lot of people in LA. So not I would have done lunch with you. And I was able, I pushed, I was working on the third book of the trilogy. Yeah, I was finishing that. And, I just would go off to my little office in the backyard of our bungalow and just crunch for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours with no outside commitments, right? During those early months. And so it was actually, and I was writing a book about healing, right? I was writing a book about, I'd really broken these characters in this trilogy in book 1 and 2, like you're supposed to do as an author. And I was like, I can't leave them there, So in writing about the ways we heal, it was healing to me.
But I haven't struggled with mental health issues. I probably have and just didn't realize it. But like you two both have. I mean, I'm not going to discuss Michelle's past history. She's been open about it before. She tells people at conferences. It's fine.
I just go around wearing a sign that says, "Hi, I have mental health problems."
Yeah, Bree has you can borrow Bree's gregarious introvert sign.
Yes, we can trade at any time you like, Michelle.
Yeah, but does the writing process is that kind of a form of its own therapy?
100%. I mean, Michelle, I'd love to hear you talk about this too. I think it's cathartic. I always have this memory of working on Zia toward the end, I think, who knows what number draft. And I was in Starbucks and I was eating a bacon Gouda sandwich, just like weeping at my laptop. I'm sure everyone at Starbucks was like, what is in that bacon Gouda sandwich, man? Um, but in a way that like felt really good, right? Like I was sort of
Yeah.
coming to the end of this draft and figuring it out and writing about what I fucking felt at age 11, right? And how isolating and lonely it was. And yeah, it felt cathartic. I mean, do you agree,
Mhm.
Michelle? Do you feel like
Oh, absolutely. Writing was the thing that like rescued me in, I don't remember, I guess 2014, 2013, something like that. Actually, no, it was 2012. It was 2012. Yeah, I'm just trying to
Uh-huh.
like that year was ringing bells. But yeah, it was 2012. Totally it saved me from I'd had depression for sure, like from the time I was a kid, but I didn't realize I was getting into a whole new phase
yeah.
of mental health craziness and but yeah, the writing, it was my husband who said found me in the depths of despair literally for weeks on end, and he was like, why don't you start writing? And I was like, no, I hate writing, and such a liar. And so yeah, I mean, that was the thing, it saved me, and it didn't cure me, of course, but it was
Right.
this huge outlet and like a tool that I had to be able to manage it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah,
Yeah.
I have those moments for sure. Just weeping, and my kids
Also
will like come
bacon
around.
Gouda, bacon
Yeah,
Gouda
in the
sandwich.
middle of something and they're like, "Are you okay, Mom?" I'm like, "I'm totally fine."
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like you said the word tool is great. When I speak about writing and mental health at schools, I talk about a toolkit. In fact, that's actually part of that World Mental Health Day post. Maybe we can put it in the notes in this podcast episode. But yeah,
I shall.
Sure.
And
yeah, I
tell me
share.
about the speaking engagements that you do. You said at schools.
Yes.
Yeah, I've probably spoken at 30 some odd. And
Universities you're talking about, your high schools or
Um, everything, middle schools, high schools. I've done a couple elementary schools, although those are really a ride. That those like I was reading my most
Yeah.
like poignant depression scene at some. I talk a little bit about my life before, and then I was like reading like the really ultimate emotion.
yeah.
And in the middle of
Uh-huh.
me talking, this third grader was like, "Do you have pictures of your cat?"
Oh my
And I
God.
was like, right, I left that out of the talking about my life, young child. I will do that after I'm finished reading this pivotal scene. So yeah, some of those
There's always a
really
class clown that has to ruin it.
always, and
I
those
was
were
I was
what
that kid in
you were the
1990,
kid. I truly
1989 to 1995.
I truly
So
love that
sorry.
kid, right? All the undiagnosed ADHDers too, yeah. So like middle school, high
Right.
school, I have done libraries often, and then certainly stuff for adults as well. I've done conferences like AWP and different.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I've worked at, I mean, man, some of the most powerful writing workshops and speaking I've done are at nonprofits. Like Family and Children's Services was a place in Ithaca, and I did a few workshops for adults and kids, and man, the stuff that they wrote was just I went out in my car after and cried and just
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
because these are some people who were talking about traumas from like 40 years ago that they'd
Yeah.
never like really, really, really hard stuff that they'd
Digested
never.
or yeah, faced in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How did you even get into doing these workshops and things? Like, were you already teaching before you were writing, or
I
what was the
wasn't.
process?
I wasn't. Yeah, I think again, learning from my experience doing a book tour myself, I mean, the truth is, when I work with clients too who are self-publishing or hybrid, everything in between, you will have to do your own. You will have to pull your own weight. Even like A-lister authors, right? Like they'll
Mhm.
usually maybe the book tour, they might send them to two cities, but just because of like budgeting, they'll put them with four other authors, which is great. And then people love those events. But if you really want to get out there, you have to do it yourself. I think I had a lot of motivation for it. And so that really helped. So yeah,
Mhm.
I put together a school packet. I started pitching schools. I think the more I did it, right, I got great blurbs, and so that went on my marketing material. Sometimes I mean, I would usually charge, but during the pandemic, I waived all my fees because I was like,
Mhm.
it's more important to me to, and that was when Zia had just come out in 2022. I was like, it's so much more
Right.
important for me to be talking about mental health with young people than like getting money, especially then, because even the kids who hadn't experienced anxiety, right, or depression when they're sitting at home for months doing school at their laptops, like they got what those things were, So yeah,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
did that, and yeah, I love doing it. And the stuff these young people, I always learn something every single time I've done a workshop, whether it's kids, adults, whatever. And I'm always just blown away by by the honesty and the vulnerability. These kids, I know them for 45 minutes, right? I come in, talk about my life, I talk about my depression, I talk about the journey to be an author, and then we do some prompts that are easy and hopefully accessible. And the stuff they share is just, it's wild. It's really wild.
Yeah.
And it's really humbling. It reminds me of what you're saying, Michelle, that like the writing is healing and it's powerful, and being able to articulate hard things, or funny things, whatever, it's a powerful tool.
Of course.
I think also in terms of when you're writing fiction, it's different from saying, okay, I'm going to write a memoir or I'm going to keep a diary or a journal, which is another thing I've tried my whole life to actually do and then always ended up hating it because especially like, some people, not naming names, me, but have imposter syndrome or self-loathing in some way, right? And so writing, keeping a diary is just like it doesn't do it for me. But when you're creating other characters, you are able to kind of take your experiences and sort of kind of detach yourself from them in a way, and then manifest them through these characters in such that you're able to examine them in a more holistic kind of three-dimensional light without personally feeling like, okay, you're either attacking yourself or, you're under any sort of microscope. So
I'm so glad to meet a fellow writer who's also a diary hater. I hate diaries. I don't think I have a single one that's, I don't have a single one that's never devolved into just like complete self-hatred. And same with morning pages, like, all due respect, Julia Cameron, the artist way is important. I cannot do that shit because it's just like, it always just ends up with me hating myself. Whereas fiction, right, you have a degree of distance and a degree of imagination, right? You're getting out of the self-hatred by default.
For sure.
I like reading other people's diaries.
Oh, that sounds great to me.
Who doesn't?
Isn't there a publishing opportunity there?
Wow, can you imagine?
Just like the juiciest, like this is a real diary by somebody who exists. Like here it is. I'd pay.
It's like the reality TV show of memoir.
Yeah. Anyway, side note, business idea. You guys.
You do have a publishing arm now, I think.
We do have a publishing arm. I don't think I'm going to sell my partners on, hey, can we publish the diaries of 14-year-old girls?
Wow.
Yeah, maybe not 14-year-old girls.
Put it that way.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the hot goss, right? You get all the hot gossip.
Is it?
I don't know.
I feel like if a 20-something was doing, I don't know. I'll think about it. Let's workshop it, guys.
Yeah. Build it as part of your only.
Because for me, I think the 14-year-old diary, unless they're like in war or something, like I think I'm going to be incredibly depressed because it's going to be like,
that's your genre.
Oh my God, Veronica wore like the same shirt that I was wearing, and I just like almost died.
Right. More
petty. I will say.
You are the mother of two teenage girls. Yes, Bree, go ahead.
Having just having loaded up my entire life in New York to pretty much I just left my old life and moved to Vancouver.
I'd like to touch upon that in a second.
Yes, we'll talk about that as much as I can say on a podcast. I found so many old treasures as I was packing, including this. It's not even a shoebox. It's a candle box, and it has all of my notes to everyone passed during classes.
What?
Dump them out. That's hundreds.
I'm gonna have to clean those up later. It's all of my 9th grade notes, and truly, just even looking at a few of them.
Wait, read one at random.
Read one, two, maybe three.
This is the new podcast. Is just we bring people on and they read their notes.
Okay.
In high school.
Dear Bria, spelled incorrectly. Hey, cutie. Why am I doing this? It's Tarod. My email is slimtarod2000@yahoo.com. Will burn what would you do if your practice modeling you bikinis will burn it for you and ride with me butterflies? Ms. Jackson, Survivor, Angel, every little thing. I'm tired of being lonely. You also have to give me pictures of you. Yours truly, Tayrod.
Tayrod?
Yeah, I have no idea who this person is.
Hey, Tayrod, if you're listening, probably in prison.
What a one to pick.
Send me pics of yourself. What year was this? Don't date yourself, but what year
Well,
was
those
it?
references, if it's those, that's interesting. It's like a fact-finding mission.
What was the email again? Was it Yahoo or Hotmail? I can't
You're gonna
remember.
write it? It's true. That does actually, that's a good clue. It was Slim Tayrod 2000 at yahoo.com. So I'm gonna go 2000 was like a graduation.
We're cutting that one out immediately.
So we're definitely
Edit
talking
that.
about like what, 1990?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Thanks for sharing that with me, guys. I think these are, the dates on a couple of the others are like February 2000.
This makes sense.
It was a pre 9/11 world. It was a wild time. It's okay.
Find one that's actually,
not perverse.
Yeah.
Find like a
She's like, I'm looking.
Because usually these are like, oh wow, that one's a dramatic Eric. I don't really know why I'm writing you. I don't exactly have a clear idea of what I want. I'm trying to find one.
Wait, let me ask the obvious question here. Why are so many people writing you letters? I never got letters written or have written letters.
I mean, I'm a writer.
Popular.
Well, I went to 7 high schools, so I had a lot of opportunity.
This was in Texas, or this was somewhere else?
This was in Texas. There was a lot of chaos in my family life. So yeah.
Where in Texas? Like everywhere?
Dallas, usually around Dallas. They graduated from high school. Okay. Here's a quick. This is a back and forth. I'll give you just the quick. Hey, Bree, did Peyton say she wanted me to French her? She always pulls back when we kiss, but I just like being with her. I don't care how we kiss. So she likes me to stroke her hair. That's cool. I like her hair. She is so beautiful. Are you and Kevin together yet? Or is John still your guy? WB, Micah. Oh, that's right. That's right back, Micah. To which I said, I think you are imagining the pulling away thing. I know she likes kissing you. She said she doesn't care if you French. She just likes kissing you so much that she wishes the kisses would last longer. So don't be shy. Go for it. Yeah, and she said she loves it when you stroke her hair. So that's good. Nah, Kevin and me are not together. We talked last night though, and he is, there's a pic. I've drawn a little phone. He is funny, but I still like John Mowry a lot. God, he is so fine.
Oh, this is so awful. We have to do a whole podcast series
this
about
is the most intimate thing I've ever shared
Bree's
with anyone, guys.
Class notes.
That's my OnlyFans. It's me reading these mortifying class notes. Yeah, class notes is a great title. Good pitch, Michelle.
Class notes is the best podcast idea I've ever heard in my life, where people read from journals and diaries and notes. And
I think that'd be great. It's a hit. Yeah. Let's do it.
I like it. See, you guys are helping my brand. This is great.
This is not a direction I thought the podcast was going into.
Don't know what to say.
I got plenty of things to say.
Your response, your advice, Bree, to said, I assume it was a guy. It was very kind. Yes,
of course.
That, she's not pulling away. She's probably just, a little scared because of how much she loves his kid.
Which, let's talk about consent, Bree. Why don't we talk about enthusiastic consent in here somewhere? I will say that when I say go for it, I have go underlined. Go for it. I think I was a very, very peppy relationship cheerleader.
Texas. What a
Texas,
state.
Yeah, Texas.
Speaking of states, you left New York for Canada. You left the country. You've abandoned America.
Ran away.
When was that?
2 months ago. 3 months ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right. The emails. I remember now. Yes. Wow. Do you like it?
I love it. I left a 14-year relationship, which was a beautiful, lovely, supportive relationship. We owned a house together. I owned a house. And so I sold the house and said goodbye to my lovely partner of 14 years and our dog. And I drove across the country and I started grad school in Vancouver, where I now sit. And I'm so happy.
Well, that's good. It's a nice story. I like the notes better. That was a little juicier, but that's okay. Now you're in grad school.
You want to read some of my
Were there any notes passed between you and your former partner?
Yeah. Oh my God. Or would you like to read the notes from my therapist over the last year? Because those would be really
That's another podcast series.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the hardest thing I've ever done, and the bravest thing I've ever done. It was
But it was a smart move for you, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I feel like so many times a day now I'm just so happy, like almost euphoric. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm in grad school. I always tell people, you guys know, it's like, what's the least sustainable career to have ever? Obviously, it's writing. Like, you can't depend on it. You can't make a living. So I was like, I'll go back to grad school for anything, else. So I decided to go back to get an MFA in creative writing.
Hey. Nothing like publishing 5 books. Going back for your MFA.
It is funny. I mean, you can't change your stripes, I think is what I realized. But I went back. And I don't have an MFA, so this will be my advanced degree. I went back because I've published 5 books. I went back because so much of the publishing experience has just stripped the joy out of writing for me. Because it's a job. I mean, I think that happens anyway, but just because I describe it like it becomes less about telling stories and more about walking into Barnes and Noble and going, oh, okay, that author got end cap placement. So I guess they got a really good marketing and publicity. It's like and I struggle with envy anyway, but I think like it's just so easy for the industry side of it to crush the joy. And I really wanted the joy back. I wanted to go to a program. This program's multi-genre. You have to do 2 or 3 genres. So I'm doing playwriting. I'm doing musical writing. Like I'm exploding with creativity. I'm having so much fun because it doesn't I don't have to be good at it. I don't have to get it published. I just get to delight in discovering and exploring. And it's been amazing.
Yeah. Multi-format. Okay, you have to write different. Oh, that's great. Big fan of that. What school is it?
It's UBC. It's University of British Columbia in Vancouver.
Oh, nice.
You get a lot of Canadians there?
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, almost as many Americans. Like everybody's.
That's not even a joke question. That was.
I know. I mean, yes, there are a lot of Canadians, but I think like on my floor of the hall, I'd say half of us are American. Everyone's fleeing, and sometimes quite literally fleeing. Like 2 students here, one was going to Berkeley, and they lost the funding. So all of that, and so they came here, and the other had a Fulbright, and it went away. So they came here. Yep. So yeah,
that's the story.
I love how we're exporting our great minds to Canada.
I know, right? Best.
Thank you for saying that I'm a great mind.
Yeah,
I think one thing you really get from these notes is that I'm a great mind.
Yeah. She's totally into kissing you, and she loves your hair.
I'm so glad you like her hair.
Truly, guys, this is the most intimate I've ever been with anyone in my life. So I hope that you really, really take that for
we do appreciate it. So
I am going to quote you on that, and that's going to help really get more listeners
Tara
for this podcast.
2000 at yahoo.com or whatever.
Slim Tara.
I'm going to write this down right now.
Seriously, what kind of text name is that anyway?
Yeah, you're probably right. There's also a lot of, I was at a bunch of Christian schools. I was always like the scholarship kid because we were poor. I was always a scholarship kid at private schools, and then I'd ping between public. So there's a lot of like Christian ichthus.
Oh, yeah. The fish. Yes. Girl, I was in Texas too. Okay.
You were in Texas? Yes, you did it. Exactly.
So Michelle's in Austin right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in Austin now, but I was in West Texas. So basically Friday Night Lights times 10. So.
Oh my God, I get it. Right. The theater department, we're like struggling in our 19-year-old black box, and then the football team is like, oh, we have a new $1.2 trillion initiative. Yeah.
Right. Hey,
and actually,
football brings in billions. So sorry.
No, and it was funny because Friday Night Lights was based on the actual high school in Odessa that I was in, or one of the two. Yeah. So
you were in Odessa. Yeah. I have my Odessa story is when like my two senior friends who went to Cancun and I had to stay and work after our senior year, but they had met these 2 like guys that they like so much in Midland, Odessa. And they're like, Bree, drive us to see them. I'm like, are you kidding me? So we all had to lie to our parents. We said we were camping on a girls trip 30 minutes away when actually we had driven 5 hours into absolute nothingness to go to oil country. And the guys were terrible. I'm sure, Michelle, you probably knew them, and they were terrible. And then I was like, I don't want to be here. Well, this is shit. So then we started driving back, and guess whose car broke down an hour outside of Odessa. So we had to call our parents and say,
oh, nice.
We're in a completely different part of the state than you thought because we lied to you. Could you come get us?
At least you were in the state.
Bad.
That's true. That's a really silver lining way to look at it. Thank you. So that's my memory of Midland, Odessa.
Were they pleased, or did they come and get you?
It was come and get us in many ways. It was my friend hated driving. It was we were driving her family's van that she wanted me to drive. So I drove her dad's van. So when she had to call her dad to say, Yeah, the van broke down and it's like $1,000, $2,000 repair, and we lied. He came to get us, so like we had to wait for 4 hours, like for him to arrive, which is like the worst 4 hours ever. And then my friend was like, "Please, Bree, please sit in the front seat. Please sit in the front seat. Please sit in the front seat." And I'm like, "Fine." So it was like a 4 hour drive back to Dallas with Joseph Jones in the front seat or driving, and me in the front
Jones.
seat in absolute silence.
I love it.
And
I
my
love
mom
that his
was
name
not-
is Joe Jones.
I know Joe Jones.
From
That's his real name.
Texas.
Shout out to Joe Jones. Well, we'll get a listener because I'll tell him to listen. But yeah, that. And then I got home to my mom, and my mom said, "That was it, Bree. That was the final straw. I've stopped trusting you." I was like, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. This is crazy. I've lost my mom's trust for like taking two friends to meet these like horrible dudes. We stayed with their family. They're like, "Yeah, you can stay in the guest room." So it's like that's when I lost my mom's trust for like something I didn't, that it was terrible.
Does she trust you now?
Yes, we've reestablished our trust over the last.
Good.
Yeah.
We were worried.
Good. Yeah. Thanks for caring, guys.
Heart of Thorns. Zia, well, you can go out and look her up. Her books are wonderful. I read part of Heart of Thorns years ago, so that's pretty good.
Thank you. That's not like the most resounding endorsement. You're like,
I read the first. I have a lot of reading.
I read like the back of one of the books when I was on my way to Cincinnati on a Friday.
I had nothing else to read. I just forgot my other books, and it was there. Thanks, Matt.
All right, fine.
Somehow.
I have read her scripts. She's a wonderful writer. She's a fierce
Obviously, she's a wonderful writer. Obviously, it's very
fierce
obvious.
Storytelling is how I would define it.
Yeah, you guys really have seen a lot of my wonderful writing today. So.
Yeah, the notes are the best.
I detected some good grammar in those sentences.
That's true. I've always had good grammar.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Really good West Texas accent you got there, Michelle.
Yeah.
Nice I'm just channeling my King of the Hill, you know.
I won't ask you how it was being Malaysian in West Texas in the 90s.
Oh my God. I can't imagine.
It was actually, the Hispanic population took me in.
Oh.
Yeah.
So I became Mija.
Like, it's close enough.
Everybody.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Every single mother out there, she was just like, Mija, like all the time. And, I was friends with all their sons or daughters or whatever. So I fit in with that community very, very well. I don't think I had very few white friends in West Texas. Isn't that interesting? I mean,
and it was so siloed. It was so I remember at McKinney High School, which was a little suburb outside of Dallas that used to be kind of more country, and now it's just so like commercialized and rich. But yeah, it was like I remember the groups that would stand at the bottom of the big stairway, and it was like the white kids, right, and the Latinx kids, and it was like that. I mean, and the three black kids probably, right, like we're somewhere else. It was wild, and there was never crossover. It was wild.
Yeah,
interesting.
It's different now, I guess, at least.
I think. I mean, in some ways, right? But when I go to schools, it seems different. I mean, I don't know. I'm so in awe of Gen Z and now Alpha, right? Because they're just millions of miles ahead of us in so many ways with gender identity. Like they just, I learned a lot from them.
This new generation, like my daughter's generation, Michelle's probably seeing it too. They just they don't care.
They don't care.
Whatever, which is good. You don't want to get to the point where none of this matters.
That stuff upsets you so badly that you're gonna, lose friends over it or, it's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like they look at us millennials, right? And they're just like, wait, why is this a big deal to you guys? This is a non-issue.
Exactly.
See, that does give me hope about the next generation. Although, like I say to my students, it's like, I'm sorry we screwed the world for you, and now it's like, I don't want the burden to be on them to fix it, but I do feel hopeful, right, with all the young people, and even the young people here, right? I mean, there are a lot of, grad school is a lot of, early and mid 20 somethings, which I was really worried about. I was like, oh, I feel really old, and I do feel old, but I'm also learning so much. I feel like
which makes you younger as well.
Yeah. I look younger. My best friend was like, you look younger. Like you look different.
You super young.
I think
she could pass with those Sally Jesse Raphael glasses.
yes. People definitely think I'm 23 here,
Yeah.
But
If you guys don't know who Sally Jesse Raphael is, I invite you to Google it.
is she a talk show host?
One of the great talk show hosts of daytime television.
Of our millennial, memory.
Trust me,
memory.
as a fat kid, I would come home and I would get my little fruit snacks and I would watch Sally Jesse from 3 to 4.
That explains so much about you, Matt. I
really
feel like
should.
You've snapped into focus for me now.
Well, then there was Jenny Jones and the Ricky Lake was after that.
I remember Ricky Lake. Yeah, Ricky Lake.
Oh, yeah.
God. We have to end this podcast.
No!
I will talk about. I'm sorry.
Like, no, we want to read more notes. Okay, wait. Hang on. We have to close with a note. We have to close with a note. Wait, let him know. Yes, we can let him go. Yes, but
close with a good note. Close with a good note.
Well, you're making me pick from random, so this is like the worst one of the bunch.
It's okay. We'll put it after the outro theme then.
Oh, this is great. Okay, the last note was Micah and me, and this is he was talking about Peyton kissing and Frenching.
Yeah.
This note is Peyton and me, and it's about Micah.
The sequel.
Wow, this couldn't work better. It's funny. I'm like, this is amazing, but probably like 85% of these notes are like somehow about Peyton and Micah making up. Okay. Bree, don't tell Ash this. And then I've circled that in a later thing and said, no prob. Don't tell Ash this, but I really think Micah likes her more than me. I don't know what to do. I really think he does. I like him so much, and it would hurt me if he did, but do you think I should tell him to go ahead and go out with Ashley? WB, hell. Which I say, well, if you did say that to him, I can guarantee that he says something like, are you kidding? I don't like her. You know how Micah is, Peyton. He flirts with everybody, and he's backwards, like where he used to flirt with you and Ash lots more than Jay or Tressie. But if you really think he does, ask him, and then tell her that all her flirting with him bothers you. Hopefully she'll listen. Agree? WB, Bree. I have to say, guys, I'm actually feeling some wisdom.
Did she ever write back? I have to know how this turns out.
Okay. All right. There's that was half of it. So here's the rest. And then Peyton says, I don't know. I might wait till we actually go out. And then if it keeps going on, I'll ask him or something. Would it be totally bad for you to ask him? You can't say that word and when it's not 2000.
We can say it on this podcast.
No,
Trump brought it back, the R word.
The R word. There we go.
We're bringing it back. The R word.
The R word.
Anyway,
I don't know. And this is, again, this is Peyton. This is me.
I understand. That's why you can.
Okay. Would it be for you to ask him? I don't know. I want to know now, but like, it would be weird to accuse him of flirting with other girls when he's not technically taken. WB, and I've pointed to taken and said, yeah, I know. And then I say, yeah, I'll ask him if you want. What do you want me to say exactly? To which Peyton says, just ask him if he likes Ash more than me. You can say, Peyton wants to know, or whatever you want, ... It doesn't matter.
It's breathtaking. That's the worst dialogue I've ever heard. By the way, it's real life. You can't write dialogue like real life.
This is giving me, I think we've come up with my next novel idea, guys. And we talked about like a collection of diary entries, but like this is like an epistolary novel.
But you know what? In all seriousness, and I'm dead serious when I say this, that is something that most writers don't have. Listen, as actual conflict, you're invested in the characters. There's slurs. It had it all. Really.
No. Okay, well, I'm looking for a producer and any producers out there. It's all, I mean, gosh, you guys like know some producers.
Well, I don't know if it's screenworthy, but it's drama and conflict at least. So
yeah, I mean, right. What can we learn from this? I feel like I've always loved the epistolary form too. And isn't it interesting, like talking about Gen Z and Alpha? We didn't have text messages. These don't exist anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this is archaic. It's an artifact.
They exist in text message form, but there's nothing. You can't save a text chain.
No,
exactly. And when you try to do a global search of text, it's a crap platform.
Yeah.
So
it's lost art.
Oh, and I'll end with this: our little club of Ash, Peyton, and me. We were the big tigers. It's not going to see it. There it is. We were the big tigers, and we would
a drawing of a tiger.
Yeah, it's a drawing of a tiger. I'll send you guys a picture.
Okay.
And it has the R word underneath it. Just terrible stuff.
It has the R word roar. Okay, it has the word roar.
Oh yes. Roar. Okay. There's other R words out there.
Yeah, other R words.
Good God. All right.
Heart of Thorns series. Chatting with me.
Yes. The latest is Zia Erases the World. You should read it. It's middle grade. It's wonderful. It's all about Bree's personal things on the page, so you should definitely check it out. The title of the next book you expect to be published. Give us a little sneak peek.
I mean, I'm stealing Michelle's class notes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Done. Submit it to Fringe and
I'll give you a bit. I will. I say I did just went Spotify's inaugural award for
Yes.
and it was like it's a lot of manuscripts. It's honestly cool because I've been trying to make it going out just for years. It's another way to talk about it right now, and it's sold. And I have to say that it's really hard about that, and it's
how about an improv ending to this? The end.
The end.
What an
Or
ending.
is
Cue
it?
music.
music from the band.
See, Michelle, I gave you an easy editing point.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, she's like, this is a nightmare.
Like, oh God, what a nightmare of people over talking. Mainly by people I mean myself.
No, this was fabulous. I'll end the recording now.